Alright, we're back here with the second iteration of the Aura Fury Draft Tournament. Single elimination style. There should just be this game that we're casting. We being me and Xander again. This game's going to be between Team A Reason and Team Blank. We are going to see this game. There's going to be a game going on in the background between Team Enderal Crack and Pepper. And then the winner of that game will play the winner of this game for the finals. Same format as last time. Difference here is that our starting map is going to be Nepal instead of Ilios. We're going to try to keep that theme similar of just control maps. We might swap it around later on, but I think Nepal will give a little bit more of a dynamic view early on of what type of comps teams are going to want to play for the rest of it. I think in our previous tournament, Ilios lends itself very heavily to dive on most of the maps types. And I think Nepal, you think of Sanctum, and that has a lot of good poke angles. Dive is still playable, but I think poke is like usually preferred. And then you think of Village, and literally pretty much anything can be played there. Like if you want to just play on the objective, you can play Brawl,
I do think we have a
poke.
swap real quick. I think it's Reko in for Radu.
Reku in for Radu. Well, I'm not the host, so I will have
I think Reason.
to.
Oh, Reason asked. Oh, I see. Blink is asking Reason.
I see. All right. Well, as the teams
Wait,
configure themselves, we can dive a little deeper on the map geometry. So what are you going to be looking for here on Nepal? What type of players do you think are going to bubble up in this first map? I know you don't have a ton of experience casting for each individually of these players, but like, are you expecting the DPS players that have like a good hit scan background to be really strong in Nepal and might stand out, or tank play, or support synergy?
Nepal. I think Sanctum lends itself more towards having a strong hit scan. I think the issue with Nepal is that you can kind of get away with anything.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to rush, you can rush. If you want to brawl, you can brawl. If you want to poke, you can poke. Like all of those work, I think, for each of the maps. Some more than others. Obviously, Sanctum kind of lends itself more to either a rush or a poke playstyle. It's kind of hard to brawl because of how small the lanes are and how easy it is to get pushed back. Um, so I really think having a coordinated team is probably going to be the strongest advantage for either of the teams. I'm interested to see what DPS get picked. I know historically we've seen a lot of Junkrat,
Yeah,
which can be good on Sanctum a bit. If you push people back into spawn, it can be hard to get through the doors.
I think
Because
Shrine
of
as
the
well.
opening effects. Yeah,
Not terrible.
yeah, that's true. Shrine, yeah, there's some. There's only two entrances unless you got some mobility, but rarely you're gonna have the entire team be able to do that unless you're running flyers. But Diva's also good, so Diva can kind of just eat all of that and ignore it, and I don't know.
Yeah, I
I'm
think so. I,
curious.
I think I think mentioning Diva is important. I can't
Yeah,
think of a map sub map on Nepal where Diva isn't
as
at
good as
least,
that. No.
yeah, not pickable. I think she lends herself to be really helpful to that poke strategy I mentioned earlier for Village. If
Yeah.
you have
Yep.
flyers, she can definitely defend them. She can contest
Yep.
point and not take too much damage. Um,
Yeah. I
I th-
think her worst map is probably Shrine, and that's saying something. And that's just because there isn't really like a high ground. Like the point is just the
mhm.
big center point. There's two high grounds off to the left and right side, but those are rarely utilized, especially once fights actually break out.
Right.
Yeah. But Sanctum being able to get around and not fall into the pit is huge. Basically, just being able to ignore that, and then just being able to get on high ground to the village whenever you want is, you know, it's just cake.
Yeah, I think you have that one high ground, and if a team ever decides to push there and you are as Diva, you're just not worried. So you're shutting out the one high ground on the map. You have pretty good maneuverability to and from the Mega by Elephant. And again, you're playing a tank with like a ton of armor, which is something that like new Overwatch is lending itself to again. Like we've seen this
Yeah, armor's so
before.
good.
So we're kind of back in like an armor era. And as we talk about Diva, we see at
Yep.
least one diva on the side of the red team, Team Blank.
I do think it's funny that the diva is with the
Yeah,
Junkrat.
that's
Not
kind of
opposing the Junkrat.
they hurt us in some degree.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this is gonna be interesting.
versus a more flimsy rush comp with the Queen Genji.
Yeah, I definitely think there's a lot more burst on red team.
Yeah, I think so as well. I think if they get in on top of one of these squishier heroes like the Cass and the Juno, they're going to lend themselves to a really nice first fight. As we see both the Junos come out with Lucio's. A lot of mobility.
A lot of speed. A lot of speed. Oh, one down. Yeah, the diva out of mech's very early. But the queen is also low. She has to pop shout. She dies anyways.
Cassidy getting the kill there on the Lucio and the Queen. Helping set up a kill onto the Sojourn.
There's a lot of speed on both teams, but there is not a lot of healing on both teams. Like, Juno's got some sustain to keep people up, but it's not burst healing. And notably, even with, like, the torpedoes, she can't shoot and lock on at the same time.
Right.
So, like, it's not like chucking an aid and shooting, you know. You gotta pick
or like
one
BAP as well, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see the blue team's positioning with this Sojourn on high ground, trying to find an angle, but not really doing enough of that burst damage to force the Juno to want to be on a different hero that maybe is healing more. Like, they're not taking advantage of how quick the comp is, getting on top of them.
There's not enough mitigation on blue team for them to be able to just sit there with a diva in their face. You know, they can't wait. The diva can buy time. The diva can buy as much time as they want. But I think the queen needs to be more aggressive. It just needs to go get a kill. Go do something.
Yeah. We're not really seeing the blue team coming towards any ults, and we're seeing almost every ult online for the red team.
Tire. Doesn't get the Hanzo. I guess misplaced where the explosion was and hit the edge instead, so that sucks. Gonna try and go clean it up by climbing up there. Let's see who. Oh, diva goes up to help.
Queen stuck in a trap.
Hanzo, goodbye. Lucio Lund goes down to a free, who's been relatively uncontested on Elephant. Every time the queen pushes that side, she just kind of gets bullied out, so...
I think that's a 5k.
Yeah. That was a rough.
Yeah, Cass having a great game early on.
And we've got
Suspecting we see kind of a diva lob, just kind of at the choke here in a second.
Yeah, I mean, there's just so many ults. The beat comes out. Basically, the red team still has their beat. Yeah, there we go.
There goes Juno, Cass getting that kill. Widow just hanging out and choke.
Very smart. Yeah, I mean, red team didn't have to worry about the ults at all. They knew they had more ults in the bank anyways. All they had to do was wait out the blue ones. And that's that.
Pretty dominating victory
Oh, yeah.
by the red team. They didn't really play like a traditional poke with like the Sigma, but it still had like poke roots with a pretty weak backline when it comes to just raw healing output, but high utility to help enable the diva to go in and out and have the speed for the Cassidy to try to take space if a pick would present itself, while the Queen and the Lucio and the Juno on the other side are trying to run away. So I liked it. I thought it was pretty good. I'm liking their adaptations too to swap over to the Ashe. I'm not sure about the Zarya combo with the Hanzo. It sounds like Overwatch 1, but...
I think, oh, and picked up a Kiriko, so we're less dependent on the speed. I think the Zarya is probably just to counter the diva. Being able to stand there and make diva actually back off a little bit. But I am still worried about that pressure. Like, Zarya still only has 2 bubbles, and the opposing team has a lot of pressure.
Zarya unable to finish the kill onto the Juno.
You see a flanking Junkrat gets punished, but still takes 1. That diva boost is gnarly.
Yeah, we're seeing the Zarya have a lot more point presence, but is playing with these bubbles very selfishly, which is fine when you're doing the duel, but I wonder what they're going to do to try to mitigate the Zarya's value on the side of the red team.
Yeah, I think blue team is entirely banking on Zarya, making it hard for diva to stay anywhere, because now she can't just put up Matrix and live forever. There will be at least some damage coming. Yeah, just like that. There we go. And I will also say, I do think blue team now has the advantage on healing. Even though their Kiriko just died, I think when she is up, they have a lot more sustainable healing. As opposed to having a Lucio. That's 2 quick kills. Counter pick on the Junkrat. See if Hanzo can get a quick and nice.
Yeah, Hanzo doing well on this flank, but I think this is about as long as he can stay here. Oh, never mind.
Oh, gets another
I'm allowed to be wrong.
D.Va's on him.
D.Va could have turned on eating that.
Get. Almost gets the D.Va out of that.
Yeah, forces them into an interesting spot.
Yeah. I mean, it forces red team to back up. I think it was a little bit of a waste of an ult, but, you know, we'll take what we can get. D.Va doesn't touch him. That's good.
No.
Juno dies.
You see a grab on both supports.
Ooh.
Not sure anything can die, though.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. There's not enough healing even with Rush to keep the Zarya up.
Yeah, your whole team kind of exploded at that Juno ult. I think everyone's still kind of getting a feel for what Juno ult brings to the table, and oftentimes will underestimate how much value it can get to keep your team up as well as provide them with a huge amount of damage. John doing the most on this Hanzo there, definitely getting picks where it matters.
Orisa. Horse swap, okay. Junkrat in the corner. Ooh. Double AoE ult. Reaper trying to do something in the backline, gets punished for it.
Unable to really capitalize with that positioning, yeah.
Yeah, a full reset needs to happen.
It's looking a lot closer than our first round, but still, I think when the blue team's coming out of spawn, they just like this huge weakness of uncoordination, not being able to get them in position.
Yeah. What I'm worried about is the blue team does have Juno ult, which is great, but red team still has B, which
Yeah,
I do
should
think is
nullify
still
it.
a bit stronger than that. And they just keep losing their tank. I'm not sure why they swapped off the Zarya, to be honest. I think it was working better than Orisa.
But I don't know if we're gonna even see a touch. There's no really fast character.
I think that's that. Yeah. Yeah. I didn't read what they.
Yeah, that's what Blank decided that the team's name would be, which, you know, gotta give him the credit of sticking to his guns on his beliefs on what happened in the last tournament, which is interesting. I'm surprised with how few people from the last tournament that won the tournament showed up to this one. Kind of a one and done situation.
Yeah, they proved it. They're done.
All right, so now we see Reason in a position to change up the map, try again. You're seeing this D.Va comp where they can kind of just play more stationary, having more value. So maybe pick a map that's more brawl centric, force the issue.
Yeah. Oasis isn't a map. It just popped.
Maybe even try your dive out. I'd think just based on how the picks worked out for ACS got carried, I think they'd be good at dive. But they didn't show any sort of chops at brawl. And it looked like a lot of the tank pools that Atomic Duck was utilizing would lend itself to a brawl comp. So I'm wondering, maybe you go Midtown, Kings, Ike, maybe, if you want to try that. Coliseo.
Yeah. I do want to see some more threat assessment going on other than just we need to counter the D.Va. And I understand it can be a little bit hard on those maps to push out and take stronger rotations, but I think being able to punish a Junkrat is kind of essential. They just can't keep taking that much damage, so either like mitigating that or
Right.
dedicating a dive onto it.
Yeah.
And not
And
even a dive, just a rotation of some kind, you know.
it doesn't even have to be like a tank or DPS swap to be like, we
No,
gotta kill the Junkrat. It can just be maybe bringing a BAP to the table and
or
taking advantage of all the damage you're taking by just getting window quick. If your
yeah,
team's not
exactly.
willing to play differently around a Junkrat, then you as the support player can
Yes, you can.
benefit.
Yeah.
I think Midtown's a really good pick. I mentioned it in kind of the breakdown of maps that lend themselves more to Brawl. And
Hmm.
specifically, I like Midtown because of the first and last point and how it feels like Brawl can really just be impending. And once that momentum
Hmm.
starts, it's really hard to stop. I think its weakest point is when the cart goes underneath the bridge on second, which
That's tough. That's
you,
tough.
yeah, you what you want there is for the defending team to take that early defense before the cart goes under the bridge and get a little greedy,
Yep.
wipe them, dedicate three to cart, and push that cart as far as you can before they
Yeah.
regroup. And
It's
then,
just once it's under bridge, there's so much space for the defending team to just keep
mhm,
backing up into while maintaining a line of sight, which is the biggest thing. They don't really lose anything other than being safer and still maintaining uh, some kind of pressure on the objective.
yeah, very much so. So I'm interested to see how this will work out. We see Reason come in on his own team. I'm surprised that he swapped himself out, to be honest. It seems
Yeah, I
very
mean,
noble.
I was gonna say that seems like the kind of thing Reason would do. He seems like that kind of guy.
Yeah, definitely the captain of Arson, an up and coming team for sure. Um, I think what we're looking here is I need to remember who the support players are on Arson. I didn't feel their presence really as compared to ACS got carried their support line. I think that Atomic Duck has to really settle in on a tank pick and run with it and build into it. Because even if you like cheese out a win here on Midtown, just barely, if they get a comfort map pick for third and you aren't settled in with your team, building up that synergy that you're gaining now, uh, you're gonna be in a tough spot for the third map, or maybe even if you make it to grand finals. If you haven't set a favorite comp up, you're kind of stuck.
Reason on tank.
Atomic Duck opting to swap over to DPS. I remember in the
Interesting.
forums, Atomic Duck saying
Hmm.
that they're willing to play both tank and DPS. And it
Okay.
looks like after a map of losing, maybe not true. Maybe it is
Yeah.
tank until otherwise. Like you, if
Until
you,
bullied out of it.
right, exactly.
Yeah.
Until a tank
Okay.
player is on the other side of the team. Because I think Little
I
is just a tank.
Yeah. Little back on Diva, of course. I do think it's interesting that we have a Widow and Junk, two DPS characters that I think are very greedy,
Hmm.
and require their own kind of playmaking. There's not a lot of like team synergy that goes into that.
Which is an
Which I think
interesting pair
really
with
just
D.Va.
is, yeah, the interesting with me. I think it really kind of speaks to how cocky the DPS are feeling. I think they feel good. I think they feel like they can make like, and Widow gets a pick already. So yeah, no, they're feeling themselves clearly. Reason a little split, honestly. Sombra goes for a backline pick with the supports there.
He's able to pick
Hey,
up the
Reason.
kill onto Bap. I don't
Yeah,
know. He's able to stay
he is
alive
getting
here.
healed by Bat.
Dario getting a pick on the
Shots
Widow.
gold.
Putting the supports in
Yeah.
an awkward position.
See, if that engagement had been timed a little bit better, they would have been able to get a lot more out of it. I think if the Sombra had gone in when Reason got their pick and taken out the Widow, then this would have probably been a hold for them. But because things were a little bit mistimed and people are just dying one at a time, even though you get a pick here and there, it's not enough to actually change the direction the fight's going.
Seeing this Widow duel into Tracer in the corner. Very much defended by both Alari and Bap. But that takes a little bit of resources away from this front line.
Nice.
Blink able to take out the Tracer. Atomic Duck swapping over to Tracer to no avail effectively.
Ooh.
Ooh, Widow almost killed by Reason. You see the swap back onto the Sombra from Tracer, realizing maybe that's not the play. Maybe hacking the divas the play.
Oh god, just so much pressure.
They're just kind of walking underneath them right now, which is giving them
Yeah.
the chance to get these picks.
But even though Reason isn't dying, hasn't been threatened, they're just able to get around his team. I mean, this is a good push back.
Right.
They'll get back up on the ledge there. But they really have to do something about how much damage and how many kills are just going around the tank. And that either needs to be positioning, or just communication as to when you want to poke and try and take some damage. But
Walking into the trap in the Sombra, probably not ideal. Not what you're gonna want. And now we're in a spot where the Widows can duel once again. Right now, Durio really taking advantage of this duel.
Sombra being a little annoying. Oh, loses the duel. Got a tire that gets
That's both DPS down.
Yeah. And Widow just gets to be uncontested again.
Reason popping gold. Emor popped on top of it. That's all of your resources gone. Reason not finding any cover.
I almost kept him alive through that.
Durio again,
Doesn't get the D out of Mac.
just getting headshots.
Yep.
Not paying attention. Not the
Punish.
best game
Oh,
awareness,
good,
but definitely
good.
decent aim. Which is making sense. I mean, I was warned about Durio before we came in that they were a plat player that could perform at like a master's level, and that there is like the quintessential play of like what that means.
Okay, well, it looks like we have a hold from blue here. Some ult trades. EMP goes out, bomb goes out. Who gets to pick on their Reason?
Yeah, Reason really hating that slow debuff of gold.
Sombra and Genji in the backline. Oh, that was a really good
I
virus.
think Genji could pick up the kill here.
Very good.
And now you're just trying to make sure that you don't let the point go.
Huge.
Looks like John might be dead here underneath on the Genji.
D.Va's coming back.
He was hacked out though, so you're not really gonna go far. Does
Gets
pick up the Mega. DM kind of just
Leave it. Leave it.
delaying the inevitable here.
Okay. All right. I think they could have left that alone a little bit longer, but that's fine.
Yeah, I think Sportsman like Bap should die there. Oh, does end up surviving. Daryl not taking advantage of the, the Exo Boot free kill.
And here's where I don't think you need to get into Widow's LOS as the defenders, right? Like,
This is
there's
greedy
really
from
no reason to
Sombra.
be playing.
Is able to get out. Looking for the kill on a Genji.
Young's just gonna be spamming down that hallway. Ooh.
Yeah, Terror Control getting picks here. Having a good
This
game.
is what I want to see. I'm glad though. I'm glad that the DPS are getting punished for being greedy, because that's the whole point. You can't just let them continue to get away with this. Good ult, gets things low. John dies. Sombra goes in for the cleanup.
You just leave her.
Leave that D.Va to Mac. Just leave her. Just leave her. Just leave her. It's okay. Tournament. It's fine. Yeah, it's fine. All right.
Terror wants to feel the power again. Has been using these Exo Boots and trying to do Widow jump shots, but with BAP.
And we're off the Widow. All right.
We see a cast swap, which is I think fairly reasonable.
Yeah. I think.
What I'm interested in here though is the DPS ults from the blue team. And speaking of DPS ult, Terror Control again controlling the game.
Bit of an MVP. You said you wanted to see the
Support
the supports
adaptations.
have a bit more
Yeah.
presence, and they do. It's a good
Big EMP, really good EMP. Terror Control still picking up kills. Really forgetting that BAP is a support. Focusing more on the damage output. Ooh.
Don't know if that
Okay.
was needed by Spooked.
I mean, it's only 30 seconds. If you're really trying to like hold them in their spawn, I guess it's not terrible. Terror coming up with a 4K in that fight though.
We've got a blade from
Yeah,
John.
I'm looking at this blade. All eyes on this
Nothing
blade.
to counter it. There's no support ult that's really going to do anything about that other than a BAP getting headshots.
Yep, you need
So-
Emor. You need Emor gone.
Let's see what they do.
Speaking of Emor, BAP very exposed there. Cast low.
Very
There's BAP.
nice.
Now you kill Junk.
Good,
You've gotten
good,
Juno weak. Probably going to die here still. Oh, never mind. Genji living through it.
You got a mech?
And that should be that. All right.
D.Va.
We like
I
the
doubt
midtown
a
the midtown
Tracer.
pick coming alive here. And then stopping them on the second point. Pretty much bar for bar instances that we talked about before the match.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, Payload got under the bridge, and then, what are you gonna do? Hard to
Sales
push
all this
in.
time.
Almost had it. Almost had it, but I do think what really punished them there was the DPS getting greedy.
Mm-hmm.
Starting to feel a little bit too comfortable, started dying out of rotation from their team a little bit, forcing everyone else to pull back. And then blue team just gets to full regroup and say, actually, we are going to control this space now, and you can't push into it. Good job, good adaptation. I'm glad to see that. I didn't want this to be a pump stop.
Yeah, I don't think blue team's quite out of the woods yet.
No.
I think on offense, Reason doesn't really play tank, so we're gonna see him in a position to have to be able to dismantle this first point hold, which
a more active play style as opposed to defending.
This first hold, you could get stuck here, especially into.
You have to make decisions.
Yeah.
To get through this first one, you have to decide on what to do and go for it. There's no, kind of lackadaisical unless you get some very nice picks early. You got to make a choice. And so I don't want to see Reason just kind of sitting in spawn waiting for that to happen.
And you're up against a character like Junkrat, where a lot of the decisions that you need to make in this defense are made for you. Just spam where they're headed. So it's going to be a lot of thinking.
Attacking team with the Widow, that makes sense to me.
Yeah, just buy enough time. Get Sombra in position to find space in the back here. Emor's already out. Sombra just poking and prodding, making them feel uncomfortable.
Come on. Oh, nobody pays attention. This is not
looks like grabbing two here.
Always
grabbing three? The Junk finally found. Will probably not die.
So rough. I mean, you gotta know that's gonna happen. You gotta look at the sky.
Grabbing a 4K here, looking for the 5 with the Sombra. Can't quite find her.
I will say it's a little difficult to hear the concussive mine over the spam. But definitely need to keep eyes on that Junkrat.
Usually, the way I've found, from my own personal experience with where the Junk might be based on sound cues, if you don't hear the spam, that's when you know he's in the air. When he's being quiet, you're like, okay, he's probably on top of me.
Wait a minute.
You see a Genji popping deflect early. Dies.
One wipe. Okay.
And now Sombra is completely on an island. And our worst fears are coming to life here. A D.Va bomb just on to point. No.
Gets back.
Okay,
I
interesting.
mean, that didn't have Imor. I guess they have respawn advantage here, but if Ana goes down, then that's less.
That's gone. And you have a Junk tire ready to go. Genji dying to Junk once again.
Can't be this far forward when there's that much of an advantage. We see a swap back to the Orisa. Which I think makes a little bit more sense for Reason's playstyle.
Reason wants to get in there, but probably doesn't feel too comfortable on dive heroes. So this is as close as you're going to get.
Yeah.
So blue team needs to get this nano. Get this Sombra ult.
I think missed the virus and had to disengage. Picks up Mega. Junk's getting healed. EMP comes out. Oof.
Yeah, it's kind of just mayhem right now. But it looks like blue team got some kills. Got some ults out of the red team. It's not the worst team fight ever. You have a Nano Blade coming up. It looks like your Orisa's going to get ult in time with your Genji, which is kind of funny. And you're really, because like you're not really worried about bomb. It's a good ult for this type of push because you just want to contest point with it. Um,
Yeah, I mean, you could use it to deter Blade, right? Genji dashes in, you just pop bomb and force him to kind of not
right.
stay there anymore.
Here you're just
um,
worried about. You're worried about
you
these
do have a
support
Ripple
ults.
ult, but yeah, both support ults being up is, I think, what Tracer's pushing in, gets Blink.
Junk down.
There we go.
Bap down.
Two big picks.
Okay, here's that Diva ult we were talking about. Reason not really able to get out of there in time. And they don't kill the Diva before she remax. This could get a little dicey, buying a lot of time.
Yeah, we've got 3 respawn for
Okay.
our team. I don't think they
Looks
touch.
like they're not really interested in it.
Yeah, I think they're testing the waters a little bit, but... Oh, they might. Oh, Blink decides to pop ult. On point. That's
Has made the
huge.
space to
Got
do it
Blade
too.
kill.
Now they have the chance to kill this Genji.
Oh, the junk needs to go down. Nice, gets a dash reset. Pulse bomb comes out.
Doesn't pick up the Juno yet.
Thanks, one. Oh, there we go.
Now Diva looking for the Tracer. Definitely heard that she's one call, but unfortunately it's still Tracer. 90 health on Tracer is a lot more than 90 health on Orisa.
Yep. Okay, a little dicey, but they pulled through. That was good.
And I mean, if you're blue team here, you're looking at that, and you spent one blade for that Juno ult and a ton of cart progress going into this because everyone's gonna have those bad spawns. So like, I think it's a bit of an overcommit by the red team. I think you just let them have that and then stage a close hold and keep them stuck there in that tiny little box.
Yeah, interesting if Durin swapped onto Tracer instead, which to me tells that they're leaning a little bit further away from this poke.
Is
And
this
I
a
think that's
nano?
because blue team is starting to do such a good job diving.
Is this a nano support? Who got nanoed? We saw both support ults get used by the blue team.
Yeah.
And now they're just going to dedicate people to point.
Well,
And you're just going to rely
we have
on
Orisa ult,
Pulse Bomb. Yeah.
That'd be a huge combo. I mean, we've got
We have
Window coming up,
Emor is
maybe
what
a
you're worried
jump
about.
fire.
Alright, Orisa might die here if she's not careful. Might just wait for the passive heals to come in. Looks like Pulse is not going to be comboed with
Window gets
Pull.
put in a very strange spot. We've got
Yeah.
a cast in the back line though, which is really unfortunate. They've got a minute. I don't think they need to force this.
They're forcing it.
Okay. I mean, that's Imor down. And a jump
And Rat. But I think that's it. I think you
Genji's
just
back
used
here.
that ult. That's interesting.
Yeah. That's rough.
That's a call.
I
I think they had it, right? They had the
Yeah.
pull. They had the Tracer ult. They weren't going to get ults in time. But now that you've over-dedicated to that, you've put their cast
They're gonna-
and Juno in a position to get these ults.
Yeah.
And you're not going to have Nano Blade in time.
Which means you need to hit a nasty pulse onto one of the supports and hope Imor
I
doesn't
think you want to kill Cass with that, honestly. Because I think his High Noon is just too good for this part of the map.
That's true. There isn't any way to really, unless Force is in his fade.
Bap really caught out here.
Oh,
Emor
gets
burned.
There we go.
There goes that Juno. Okay, Junkrat should die here.
Junk getting healed.
Not
by that,
able
though.
to get killed.
So much for support. There's the High Noon. Reason trying to hide is gonna get pushed out by the Ursa. Or by the
Pulse
Demon.
Bomb didn't find anything. Reason down.
Oh, so close. Yep. Oh, so close.
Yeah, much better than map 1, but
Yep.
the writing was on the wall a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, map 2 made it look a lot closer than I think it was. That didn't feel like a bad loss by any means. I think there was a few misplays right at the end. But I think the adaptations that Blue Team started making, or Team Arson, really started to show their value with all the adaptations that ACS got carried and ended up having to make.
Yeah, who would you say is the takeaway player of this match for ACS got carried?
Overall, I think I'd have to say Little, probably, and that's just the diva doing so much work. and just being difficult to kill in general. They seem to really be on tempo. I didn't see a lot of major mistakes coming out from them. And even when they were getting like demeched, they were the last to be demeched. So,
Hmm.
staying alive as long as they could. I think they did a really solid job. Very stable anchor for the team. And although it wasn't the flashiest diva play, um, I think it's really what held them together and got them the wins. Honestly.
Yep. I think, especially when you put in perspective that you're swapping between tanks on one team and then you're relying on the consistency of a tank on the other,
Hmm.
they just get the opportunity to outshine.
Hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
Let me see what I can do about congregating the gamers.
Is the other match concluded?
That's what I'm trying to check in on now. Turns out Discord on my phone does not work if I have Discord on my computer at the same time, which is weird. But then again, Discord on my phone has just been broke for me lately, so it might not be anything to do with the client. It might just be me being a dummy.
Hmm.
But yeah, we're gonna check in. I gave them a message, check when their game's done. They're probably in the thick of it right now. Based on the
Yeah.
friends I have that are on either of the teams, it looks like the game's still going on. Um,
I suppose it's a good sign, right? You want that to be a close one.
yeah. Let's see if I can hop in. Looks like we're on Havana, so we're at least on map 2. And then I'll try to invite you as well. Looks like the blue team, so Pepper's team, got 3 points and finished with 6 seconds on the clock on Havana, which is pretty good.
Okay. 6 seconds. Okay. So down to the wire. On Havana, that's kind of par for the course, though. You see most of those games go.
Zoom in on this
Dream
one
on
a little
Widow.
bit.
Great
Yeah.
job, though.
I think I'm hard spectating right now, unfortunately.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I'm hard spectating one team, it looks like. Unlucky.
That's unfortunate. Ooh, good hit onto the Juno. Seeing some standard Sigma poke, I think, is pretty par for the course for defense on Havana.
Ooh.
Attack with a diva, I think it makes a lot more sense, but we're seeing a lot of picks coming out from Pepper's team.
Yeah.
That was just clean. That was a good, clean dismantling.
I'll leave the game and see if I can come back. Join game. There we go. Much better.
Alright. Festus swaps to a Widow on offense.
We're seeing dueling DPS comps and a difference in ideology on tank and support. You see the classic BAP Alaria, which is like do damage from range from a fixed position, which makes a lot of sense on defense. And then you see the Diva Alari Kiri, which I believe was Juno up until like a few moments ago, as like a we want to be more mobile, we want to try to take this high ground away from you. Nice pick onto the Alari.
I think the interesting part of that is the Alari Kiriko not having the Baptiste first, but still maintaining, I guess, a strong, if not stronger, poke from Kiriko, like those kunais.
Yeah. I'm not sure
Kiriko's
what
not.
Kiriko does for you here.
Yeah, I think in theory it's a long range map and kunais can do a lot of damage if you hit headshots, but I think with the amount of damage that they're taking, this is because again, these are two. Technically, Kiriko can heal multiple people at a time, but it doesn't maintain that efficiency.
You see Jaden getting a pick on Alari as she comes out of spawn. Widow at the sights. Pepper getting another kill. Just playing
So
these
interesting
corners
coming
with
with
Sigma.
Widow, let's see. I've seen a lot of Widowmakers so far.
Widow looking decent in this meta, so I'm not upset with it. We haven't seen like a decent Widow meta in a long
Dream.
time.
Okay.
Punished for his hubris.
Good. Look, I want DPS to be good again, but you gotta put them in their place when they do stuff like that.
Archdeath hitting a pretty big Alaria ult. And they're gonna crack as well. Okay, well we saw a bit of a push, a bit of sign of life in the blue team.
Yep.
But I don't know. I mean, there's
Yeah,
one ult on the side of the red team, so maybe this is doable. But crossing this gap with just a Reinhardt, one of your teammates are gonna get picked off.
No, I think they wanted to capitalize on the Widow being dead, and they kind of panicked and got a little overzealous. And we're still just walking out into the open. I don't understand.
Yeah, there's a lot of Alaria just walking.
Ron's trying to get up the stairs, which makes sense, but the entire red team's just gonna drop in ults.
Sojourn now
Missing?
one. Everyone in that room low.
Okay, I mean they all
Hanzo
died.
low.
Point.
Ryan
Point.
running through cart. Touches to then lose that. So I have no idea. I don't know if that's map 2 ending or map 3.
Yeah. That was a that says GG's. I think that might have been the last one.
Okay.
Which I think.
So
I
we're
think
assuming that means the red team
Pepper
wins.
wins.
So that means Pepper versus blank.
Team Pepper versus Team ACS got carried.
Exactly. ACAS got carried. This is their second week or second month of playing with this same captain. Very much a veteran of the game.
Yeah. Really trying to drive home that point.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I don't think is ACS even playing. I don't think he is.
No, he was his team was the winner of the first month's tournament.
Not even back to defend, and yet. Blink determined to prove that point.
Looks like Blank's team is just kind of putzing around in the lobby. So we'll join in, get our players involved. A little bit of Thomas the Tank Engine action.
Oh, hell
If you are capable of messaging Blank, who looks to be Thomas the Tank Engine, you can invite Pepper. I do believe Pepper posted Pepper's tag. So we're going to see Nepal again. So far we've seen Midtown, half of Havana, and Nepal. I'm assuming that with how quick the other map went, it's probably also a 2-0. But I'll check in. Yeah, so it looks like it was another 2-0. So there's only been 3 maps played. There's been 2 instances of Nepal, 1 circuit, or sorry, no, 1 Havana and 1 Midtown. So I'm interested to see how this will shake out. If Jason's team hasn't picked a map, and Pepper's team hasn't picked a map, so we will see one of them here actually pick what they believe is their comfort map. So just from what we saw, we saw Pepper on tank, looking much more confident than Team Arson on tank, whichever tank you want to point at, which is going to be a good challenge for Little.
Yep.
You see Duriel on the Widow playing well, and we saw Dream on the Widow playing fairly well, so that might be a fun matchup. Jaden.
Yeah, I was gonna say it looked similar. It looked very similar.
Jaden has a pretty deep hero pool, as opposed to Rekko, who I believe we saw mainly play the Rat.
Are we starting on Nepal again? They want to double check.
Yes, that's the answer. Yes. So I'm interested to see the DPS matchup probably the most, the tank after that, and then I didn't really pay a lot of attention to the backline of the red team in our limited time with them. looked like the Alari got excited and got a couple kills there, so that's good. We know
Hmm.
Bowser's kind of like a Lucio player, and Blank has been filling in on that role. I haven't really seen a ton from him this tournament yet. I think he's
Mm-mm.
taking the captain role and more so like filling the gaps that he needs in his team,
Definitely so. Definitely so.
letting his teammates kind of shine more, which, like you mentioned in the last map, like gave room for Little to kind of make an
Hmm.
impact. I think right now I'm looking for Little and Duriel to keep up that pressure as kind of like the
Yeah.
spearheads of the team.
Yeah, it definitely it reminded me a lot of what we were seeing from Blink. I think both Pepper and like Pepper seemed to shine as like a strong tank, um, being the core of their team, similar to what we saw from Little. And then I saw the same thing with from Greninja and Duriel being very proficient on Widow, getting the picks of people that are out in the open, and then also getting a little bit greedy,
Yep.
and also deciding to push that advantage. So I'm interested to see how that interaction plays out. I'm interested in seeing which pair of DPS end up having to play a little bit more conservatively, um, and or if either pair gets to kind of run away with it like they did in those last two games that each of them played. Or there'll be swaps. Who knows?
Yeah, we actually didn't see Village at all in our
No, no,
previous
we didn't.
cast. I'm not sure if that's true of uh, Pepper's team.
The other teams. Yep.
Yeah, but I'm interested to see what happens here because I attribute
Interesting.
this to like flyer poke and
Ooh.
point rush.
Now here is a very interesting difference. The Lucio Juno versus the Ana Brig. Oh,
Well,
and we see a swap off the Diva.
yeah, I love Ana Brig. I don't particularly love it with a ROM. I like the
Yeah.
Bat Brig better.
Okay,
They're
now
okay.
Juno
They don't seem to know what they want, but that's okay.
rush.
They're running rush, and I think
Yeah.
I think that's a smart start.
Yeah. I think that's okay.
I'm gonna put up that
That
barrier
Rom Shield's
super
gonna get
early.
annihilated. Yeah.
Yep. Uses it to
So much
find the space
damage.
onto the Lucio. Can't really catch up to him because you don't have a Lucio of your own. Losing your Reaper in the process.
Yeah,
Team
that's a
behind
lot.
you, kind of getting destroyed. Rom probably gonna die here to this junk.
I think that's tough. I think
Getting a
if
bit of a bag
you're
in.
Pepper's team there, I think once you see the Diva, the Junk, and the Cassidy all spread on that high ground, I think you peel back. I don't think you push out into that because your team can't push out into that.
You know? And that's not even the part of the map
Uh,
that you're interested in. You want the point.
no,
Where was
you
the
want to go exactly. Just back up straight to point.
yeah? Where was the rundown main? Take point away from them while they wanted that high ground. Where's the sim TP onto the point? Like there's
Yeah,
ways
well,
to get to where you
'cause
want.
yeah. Speaking of, there we go. Zarya swap again, trying to counter Diva.
Diva
Oh,
walled off here, but not really gonna
Echo
get
and
any
Duriel
purchase
just
here.
getting to do what they want again.
Really,
You
only
would
Rekko
think.
going down.
You would think all these Aura Fury players would know how to play against Junkrats.
Yeah, this is like junk central. I've never
I
seen as
know.
many
There's
junks as there
so
are here.
many. It's a statistical anomaly. It really is. But they keep getting away with it.
I think it's true too of like, a lot of players here,
Ooh.
this is their first time in the server, and welcome to the server. Welcome to Junkrat Town.
Oh, welcome to Junk City. We got two Juno ults popped at the same time. We had a High Noon get popped. We had a Diva ult get popped. And while Red got a couple kills here, it's still looking like the blue show.
Yeah, I think ACS got carried, is losing maybe a DPS per fight, but with the other
Yeah.
one pulling as much weight as they are, like if Duriel goes down, Rekko can very much still play. And the same thing goes the other way. What are you supposed to do if you're red team with this Zarya? Like, what is Zarya getting you here? Is it again just to combat the Diva? Because if so,
Yeah.
that's the bait.
It's the exact same thing we talked about on Nepal, but for the opposite, right? They're making the exact same adjustment that didn't work, that Arson's team tried to make.
Kind of a space
We do get the
creating tire.
That's good. Oh, Blink gets Dream.
Yeah, but Dream not really gonna add a lot to this fight on the
And we're
Reaper.
out.
We're really looking for
We
this
got-
mail.
Yeah.
We have a beat to match the
think
mail.
Red should have the ults to take this. Not if they keep dying, though. Oh, and Blink in the backline actually reverses that fight, getting a kill onto the Reaper, and then is able to follow up with another kill in their backline while they're trying to follow up on Grav. Yeah.
And we've seen this team 100-0 on first part of Nepal before. And this was where they wavered, was Sanctum. They felt very confident on Shrine. So if you are the red team and don't know that, this is your time to get a... You need to get a sub-map here, obviously, or else you're on a map too.
Yeah.
And this might be your best shot. It doesn't look good if your third map is Shrine because of how well they played before, but I mean, someone's got to stop the bleeding.
And they've got to take advantage of how little healing blue team has. They just haven't been able to.
I like the full commit to the dive. Like,
Yes.
forgo this whole try to play around, like, hero picks. Just play a comp. Play dive. Well, Winston's gone. You just got junk mined into the pit. Rekko...
Oh, and the Junkrat's still...
deciding to just win the game. Just advocating maybe that's what we want to do today. Briggs saving her team from a lot of damage by pushing the junk away, but also the Winston can't just be dying. We'll be getting her on a lot of charge though.
I think dive is the poor Dream. I think dive is the answer because I mean they're running an otherwise very mobile comp.
That should be the Junkrat dead. Really good stickies by Jaden there. Yeah, we're gonna need to see probably a big anti coming from the Ana here to really solidify this fight. You see a firebomb from the Ashe. Support's taking the point. Winston dies because of it. And now the blue team just gets to walk back in. Briggs overexposed. Genji's definitely gonna die here. They have to use anti to the floor and try to keep him up. Ana's overexposed. She's gone. Brig didn't peel the same way.
Yep.
Just inevitable loss because just you can't dedicate both supports in a dive comp and then have your Winston go that aggressive. Either A, your Brig has to go with, or B, you have to call your Winston back. I think I think the Brig has to go with and let the Ana do point. Brig gets a lot more value being in the fight at that juncture. And we can see a rally here, definitely.
Ooh. Okay.
Okay, never mind. Probably... This is a weird spot.
Jaden gets the kill.
Okay, opting to let the letting the Ana die to then pop your ult and then die. Very interesting decisions
We're
by the
seeing
Brig.
a bunch of hero plays be attempted and
yeah, we're seeing the Brig swap onto Moira. That feels more correct for kind of the playstyle I was seeing. Playing a lot. I think with Brig you have to be a little bit more heads up, and I think that's hard with a low synergy team.
Oh no. You've got Nanoblade Transform.
Well,
okay, Nano Monkey, and then well, I guess that's good because with Genji and Ana died, but
and
that's
Monkey's already gone.
That's rough.
He was stuck in this corner.
Oh no.
And that's that. Again, a little bit weaker of a map for the red team as they did let 12% or blue team as they did let 12% go through, but this is very convincing. ACS got carried, continuing their reign of dominance. But what kind of map are we gonna see out of Pepper's team? Maybe.
I mean, what do you think they try and counter? The Junkrat or the Diva?
I think they can counter both by picking a poke map.
I agree.
I think if you pick Circuit, what is Junk gonna do on Circuit?
Yeah.
It seemed that Pepper was confident on the Sig when we saw them on that map. And I don't think Dive was... I love Dive.
Depends on if there's a game type that they feel more comfortable on. But yeah, this is tough. I think. there isn't much and granted we didn't watch the other two.
Kings
Okay. I guess
of the maps.
look, I guess Kings is the map people are most familiar with, so maybe people will be more aware of the Junkrat and routing and rotational opportunities. Uh but it is Kings, so
I think this is a miss. I think this is a huge
sorry.
miss.
Rules. Wait, do I have to sub? Does Pepper need to make a swap?
No. No one has to sub. We have 6 players. We'd like for everybody to get a chance to play. But you don't know. I'm not going to force everybody to sub. That's not. If the player on the bench doesn't advocate for themselves enough to be like, hey, let me in, then I'm not going to force it.
Yeah, I'll let them know. Ideally, everyone plays, but not required.
I think if you just lost a map, I don't think you can pick Kings. Unless you're a pro team. Because you just lost a map at equal standings
Yeah.
of like, you just randomly
Yeah,
assembled players and you lost due to like a difference of either skill or understanding of the game, positioning, team comp, whatever. That mistake is going to be multiplied by a map that everybody's played to
Everybody
death.
thinks they crush on Kings. Everybody thinks that's true, and now that's true for us, obviously. But that's because we don't play Kings how people want to play Kings.
Maybe Pepper will roll out on a ball.
Yeah, no, that I'd full believe if they did, but we're okay. We see 2 divas. Shocker. Yet again, Rekko on Junkrat, not surprising. Duriel on the Ash, which was doing well last time. We don't see a Lucio for Yuri Eater. Instead, we see the Baptiste.
Yeah, Yuri are
Opting for a little bit
coming
more
in.
poke, which I think is honestly stronger on this first point.
Yeah, for Bowser, opting for this double flex backline.
Yeah.
And we're gonna see Kiri Lucio, which is like a staple of like low healing dives and brawls.
Never mind. Ana.
I like
Kiri
this a little
Ana.
bit better. I think Ana's gonna be a good answer.
I also think the Sombra has a lot of potential here. I just want to see Dream making some smart engagements. Timing when going in, timing when the hack goes off. Turning off DM at opportune times. Catching people actually out of position that don't have their entire team to back them up.
And Diva plus
We see a
Sombra,
trap.
super lethal.
Oh, super lethal. Alright. Sombra's taking the time to rotate. Is thinking about who they want to get damage in on. Decides to go on the Junkrat. TP's out. Nobody pressures. Pepper 1.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
I'm seeing the back line of the red team, Team Pepper,
That's rough.
and they're gonna have a rough series ahead of them if they're gonna both heal like that. They are healing over one another. If one character is hurt, they both turn to them at the same time. There's no sort of understanding of heal dedication of like, let the Ana heal the Diva and let the Kiri heal Sombra and Ash.
Yeah. Yeah.
But instead they're both healing the same thing. They're cannibalizing each other's ult charge. And then they're being caught swiping their mouse around just to try to keep up.
Well, I think the toughest part too is Pepper's been taking so much damage. Gets 2 kills out of it. Dream pushes in to try and get some cleanup damage. The Junk's half. Oh, they don't get the Diva before the mech goes back off.
Blank trying to survive this onslaught.
Oh, very good job.
Little
dodging.
getting the
Dream
remake.
hack.
But this is just gonna
Good,
be
good,
another
good.
kill. Okay.
Awesome. No, very happy to see that work out for them. Dream trying to get some a little
Pepper
bit more
caught in a
pressure
weird
out,
spot
gets
here.
punished for it. Pepper taking a bunch more damage. Bob comes out. Sleep comes
Slept,
out. on
but you
top
really
of
just
it.
want to
Try and-
hack Bob.
Okay, burn Bob. Rush comes out, so we've got 2 support ults on point from each team. I think blue team has the potential to hold here. Oh,
It
Blink
really
goes down.
depends on Pepper.
Pepper's staying up, which is good. Gets the other Diva out of mech. That's very good for them. EMP
There's
comes on,
EMP.
should be
That should clean it
Yeah,
up.
That's it. That's... Oh, good.
Good tempo ult by Dream. It was like, what are you holding on to that for? There's no real synergy with
There you
it,
go.
so you might as well just end that
Confirm
fight
it.
early.
Confirm it. Just get
Mhm.
it done. And that's what I was talking about with Dream earlier. Going in with the Nano Diva, confirming these kills, instead of just continually diving the back line, trying to catch somebody off. It's much better to kind of take advantage of that two-pronged attack. We'll see if it works out for him this time. Looks like he's gonna go on the BAP or the
Bap
Junkrat.
already found him though.
Yeah, a little too close there. Bomb goes out.
See a remake. Really nothing to write home about. Dream is really trying to find space here in the backline, but is very risky.
Yeah, it was lucky. Oh, another Nano Diva. Wow, second one.
Dream dead to just falling on a rat.
And then he decides to do the opposite, what I was commending him for. Instead of going with his Diva, he's trying to catch the Junkrat out. Okay.
And this
sure,
is again
get Tire out.
another just confirmation of kills, I think, for this tire, because you're really not gonna win the fight with this.
The supports are staggering themselves a little bit here. Yep.
See a lot of good ults on the side of ACS got carried too. See 2 ults online and 2 ults definitely coming online soon. All just to get maybe stopped by Bob, but doubtful. Bob into this team comp seems like
Yeah.
it should be handled pretty quickly.
I imagine Bob gets shredded pretty quickly if the window's placed well.
Your Ninja just not finding any purchase on something. Like, not like you're saying, just disregard for the team. Not like you're on a
Good
role
sleep
that's
on the
high
Ana.
communication.
Not able to capitalize on it. You know who else could have been there to capitalize on it?
Eva?
Sombra.
Sombra.
The Sombra.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
I see now what you mean.
Yeah.
Okay, see a bomb into the back,
Bomb
just
goes
to make
out.
some space.
Misses.
Really,
Greninja dying on repeat a little bit. I think they've got to reset here. I think they've
both
got to
DPS down. They have the bank to be able to
contest.
just keep dying like this, but goodness, do you not want to do
Okay,
it.
Pepper gets a pick onto the Baptiste. That's really good. They've still got a little bit of health, but this is very aggressive. They force out a Juno ult.
Yeah. Dr. Necrosis and Pepper really just not wanting to
Wow.
lose this game.
That was a very defiant. Actually, no, this fight's not over. And they cap point.
Yeah, the
Oh.
Okay. Make sure that no one dies here.
Okay. Well, I guess Ana didn't want to live.
She got a little closer to the Curie, maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, no Suzu here.
Oh, just Diva bombs going out willy nilly.
Doesn't look like people really care where their bombs are going.
No, Team Pepper's just, I guess, being forward because they can. The cart's moving.
See an EMP coming online here soon. Maybe to combo with this Bob.
Yeah, EMP pop could be good. We still haven't seen any of the other ults come out from ACS got carried here. There's a Bob. Counter Bob. One Bob gets shredded. We've still got Pepper's Bob up. I think that's thanks to Pepper DMing. And they're forced to... okay, EMP comes out.
Dies for it.
Good dive in from Pepper. Tire gets
Decides to just die to Tire. Unlucky.
That's so unfortunate. Nano onto the Diva again.
Not a bad idea, because it seems like
I mean,
Pepper
I
has...
think you can get the junk here, hopefully.
kind of the Nano didn't really...
It ran out. No. Well, we
Yeah.
get window out, at the very least. A little more cart push. I think Pepper needs to
This
not
is
do that.
this is goofy. This
Yeah,
is
this
some
is a little
goofy
silly.
stuff.
Tracer swap coming out from Jaden.
This is like a very dive comp now. This
Yeah,
is
with
this is
Gwen,
one
Imperial.
brig away from being the Seraphim comp.
True? It could happen. And now we're I mean, we'll have Diva ult from Pepper, but we're closer to a couple other ults. for
Can we
ACS
kill
got
Rekko here?
carried.
There it is. Okay, that's
Good,
huge.
Good pick.
There's no ults you're really worried about. The Juno ult's gonna get popped, but if you can get one more kill before, maybe on this BAP.
Okay, Juno ult pops
No,
out.
the Juno ult is gonna be too much here. You need to pop ults if you're red team. And Pepper only has a D.Va bomb. And that's not the ult you really need here.
You get one, but... Okay, 30 seconds for a recontest. Dr. Necrosis gets found.
Yep, I was
Gets
about
the
to say,
TP.
needs the Tracer to come back a little bit.
Alright, now we've got a D.Va bomb.
Cast swap.
Maybe a Nano coming out from Pepper's team if it gets farmed fast enough. But
Looks
the
like
Monkey,
Kiri
I
right
feel
now
like,
is
is gonna get
taking it.
bullied a little bit here. Rekko goes down half, but they're not able to confirm anything. Monkey Bubble's also out. And Dr. Necrosis steps in a trap. Well, we're on a
Ano
cart.
trying to find Nano in time.
D.Va bomb comes out, gets bubbled. That's a very good bubble.
Just
Is
remacked
anyone
on!
touched, though? Oh,
No! Just
Well, and Rekko
wasn't
gets a
looking both
tire
ways
here.
before crossing the street.
yeah. That was unfortunate. Okay. Good push. Almost caps it.
Yeah.
Guarantees that somebody's gonna win this map.
Yeah. Either we're going to the map 3, the first one of the day, or
Oh.
we're going nowhere. Alright, let's get out of this hole. Am I stuck in the hole? Yeah, I might be stuck in the hole.
Wow.
Yeah, follow the Junkrat tire down into the pit, and looks like I'm down here until someone spawns in.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
Womp womp.
Nice. Saved. Saved by the divas. Alright. We see a Widow auto spawn early. Doubt that'll stay, but we like it.
Yeah, you never know. It could. We've seen a lot of Widow. Any swaps? Jaden goes over to the Sojourn.
Has been swapping around though, so I don't think
Yeah.
this is a huge change, but
Is trying to find something that works. I think the Diva's really putting a lot of pressure on a good chunk of their hero pool.
see a Widow's just looking, just checking out the game.
Seeing who's down there.
Getting a shot on Akiri. Looks like opting to stay Widow.
Yeah.
Found the Ana. Can't quite get it. Sombra's definitely going to pick up the kill here.
Wow. Good calls there.
And you lose your Kiri, but that's
Kiri's
not
down.
the worst.
No, Kiri
She
Kiri
can come
gets
back.
fantastic. Okay,
Losing the
D-Mac
Sombra could be
can
bad
do
here.
Blink getting aggressive.
Yeah, Juno being actually able to make this happen, but
Oh.
will die for
Oh,
it.
good.
Little
We still
trying to
have
find
the
any
Diva
help on
up.
point. Trying to get the Sojourn. Suzu comes back, but not in
Max.
time to help Soj. Both DPS down. Looks like blue team on a good spot here, but the Ana getting the cast.
There's a
chance.
chance for a recontest here.
Nope.
With both supports back, I think it's a little tougher.
Yeah, this looks rough. Already using Suzu.
Wow.
Pepper really just doing the most from that diva role. Feels very confident on this hero, you can
Hey.
tell.
Did not expect that. Little's happen. Wow, Dream focuses down the Junkrat quickly.
Pepper able to win the diva battle out of mech.
Wow.
That's a lot of time off the
Very
clock.
good retake. Huge retake on the back of Pepper. That was very well done.
Yeah, I mean, you're looking at a really bad time bank from the blue team because either way now, you're going to be down an ult charge. Or at least matched.
Yeah, I mean you'll be at probably around a minute unless this fight ends right now.
Jaden caught out a little
Jaden
early.
gets pushed out.
Nice spot in the
Anti
choke, but
comes in.
Rekko completely counters it.
Yeah, there's always the junk difference. Okay, opts to go for the Diva Bomb.
Good bomb by
Gets
Little.
the Ana.
No Suzu.
Sleep on Pepper. Diva
Dr.
Bomb of their own comes
Necrosis.
out. Gets two.
Pepper gets
Does anyone
the
want to
double
touch?
bomb, but doesn't get the rematch
EMP comes out
from Dream alone.
Ah.
Maybe a swap. I'd like to think a swap.
Yeah.
But not a bad first hold. See Junk contemplating swapping. really interested in swapping long term. I guess. There's no reason to either. This is a very quiet part of this push. No one really going for anything yet.
There's a bit of talk in chat. People have continuously complained about Rekko's Junkrat, obviously. I think Rekko's starting to feel a little guilty about it and offered to swap. And I think they meant it.
We see a Nano ready to go again. Might opt for it soon.
Yeah, I think they're holding on to that Nano Diva.
Big antsy onto the
I don't
cast.
think they need it here. That was a good cleanup. 10.
Okay.
They lose one. That's okay.
All you want to do here is burn as much time in this middle phase, because they're probably
Much
just gonna
time
bank
means many
ults and
ults.
get the win on this middle.
Yeah.
But you just want as little time into third as possible.
You want to have to and force them to use ults here, right? Like,
Get rid of this bat bolt. Get rid of this junk tire. The cast
Yeah.
ult actually doesn't get a ton of purchase on this point. Make them use this anti, or sorry, the nano.
yeah.
Speaking of
There's one.
tire, this is just
Sombra's gonna try and capitalize on that. Is gonna get tricked into it. Yeah, yeah. Greninja got baited into going for the Junkrat while Tire was out. That's unfortunate. At least it's out. That's gone. We get little out of mech. but
Yeah.
Now they don't have a Diva.
and the anti got eaten.
They're playing a little bit smart. Pepper's trying to get healed up before they go back into recontest.
Yeah, they're gonna have Kitsune here too.
Their bomb comes out. Gets.
Nothing,
Oh,
but that's
no,
okay.
Ana was too far away.
Allows if it's a space maker, we'll allow it.
Yeah.
You mean
So
you're
we
not
still got
relying on that
Nano
ult to win anything?
Rush. They've got Rail as well. We still got Window, High Noon, and Diva Bomb. I think a Window High Noon would go kind of crazy. I don't think it's plausible, but it'd be cool.
It'd be an immediate burst damage.
Yeah.
Dream really struggling here. Okay. See Jaden with the nano. Yes,
Huge
the rail
And with the Diva out of position, that was very well done.
shot through the diva even. Diva got hit by that.
Identifying-
Ana gonna get low.
Identifying the Diva was not paying attention to the Sojourn.
Okay, yeah,
It's
again,
good awareness.
they're doing this where they're taking time off the clock, and every fight, they're using tire, they're using nano. They're gonna build it all back. They have 5 ults here, but they're building into an EMP, right? So if this EMP's big, this could nullify a lot of these ults. It nullifies Baps, it nullifies Casses.
Okay, we see that come out. Rush down. They're trying
They're
to
just
push
trying to
back
bait
into
it out.
on. There's about a minute left. Good sleep onto a little.
Oh,
good
huge amount of
Just
anti.
constant pressure.
That's one. That might be
That's
2.
a kill.
Oh, the junk
Rekko
knows.
goes up to contest. Yep, going up to contest Dream. Dream's trying to get out of there. Pepper gets a kill onto the Cassidy in the meantime.
Yeah.
Is pushing Blink, who's one, gets healed though.
I think Pepper dead here? No. Wow. Okay, yeah, this EMP is going to come up
Good support.
huge. This is how you win this map.
Oh,
Okay.
Anti comes out. Suzu comes out as well.
Yeah, you're going to die if you do that. Why push that? You know you win this fight.
That's gonna be a big bomb.
Why not Suzu? Oh, no. Maybe it didn't have it.
I think I heard it come out. I think they just didn't group up.
Well, the teleport is what I saw. But I just
Oh,
didn't, I
maybe
didn't
that
look
was
down to
it.
see if they had Suzu. That
I don't know,
that's so unfortunate that they didn't just hide their Sombra to get the EMP here.
Yeah.
Now they're
I
coming
really
into
don't want
this.
to see it happen now.
This is 4 ults going into this last part. It's gonna be a lot harder to hold
Bomb
this
comes out.
part.
EMP. Gets one.
Okay.
High Noon's there.
High
Gets
Noon's
2.
there. The EMP
Yeah,
was too early.
Smart of the Cassidy to just be on the stairs, not nowhere near cart, saying I don't actually need to touch it to provide the cover that I need to.
Little probably
Trying to
getting out of
leave
mech here.
Good.
Ana has a better spawn. As long as you can confirm this kill, should be
Okay,
fine.
they gotta take this space now. There's a minute on the clock. They have to make sure they don't get that far.
And based on how good Rekko's been playing, I'm worried about this tire. There's a lot more space for
Yes.
this tire to operate than there was before.
I mean, the attire has essentially been on a pulse bomb cooldown
Mhm.
for Rekko this entire game. This will be like the 5th or 6th tire.
They're not pushing the cart here, and the reason for it is that they want the cart close to. If anybody dies, it's close to the spawn.
Yep. They don't have to rush in to contest it.
Mm-hmm. See a nano.
Pushed out.
I'm assuming it's gonna be a nano diva again.
Pyre from top left.
Immediately gone.
They
D.Va
push
finds it,
Oh,
but again.
Rekko
Just-
is so
And the
low.
Kiri
and
just killing herself!
Oh no.
Okay, the
And a
D.Va's still
rail.
alive for this rail. Wakes up the
Shoots
D.Va.
to wakes up the D.Va. Okay.
D.Va's gotta get a mech
Get them
here.
out of mech. That's good.
You have to get
Green's
this Junkrat.
back. It's a good thing Sombra's fast.
Junk
We
really
see
low.
Rush come out.
Wow.
Was
Just no one touching the cart.
Alrighty. Oh, Pepper's a little upset with the Junkrat.
It's really hate to see the end of what I would consider a fun Kings Row match to watch to just a C9.
Yeah, that's rough.
And the Kiri just plummeting to her death doesn't buy a lot back.
Oh,
Well,
boy.
GG's.
GG's.
Just two Overwatch today. A lot of 2-1s last week, but this is all we could muster. Was 2-0 today. Unfortunate. But congratulations to ACS was carried. I'm sure next week there will be a team called Blank was carried and so on and so forth. That'll be the new tradition.
As it should be, I think.
Yeah.
Junk players need to.
They really going at in there, I hope.
Oh, there.
It looks like Bowser was on both this team that is now won and the last team that won. So a back-to-back champ for Bowser and Rekko. Rekko on the winning team for ACS was carried. I guess maybe by Rekko. And then Rekko now and Bowser back-to-back champs. The people to beat in the server, I would argue. Look out for both of them in your roster making.
Are we keeping track of that? I feel like we should keep track of that.
Of who's won?
Yeah, not just like the teams, but how many times each player has won.
I guess I could start keeping track of it. I mean,
I think
have.
I think it would make the drafting a little bit more interesting. Instead of having similar teams keep showing up, right? Somebody might say, hey, Bowser was on 2 champion teams. I want to pick Bowser first, and that way it's less likely for too big of an all-star team to kind of continually be the winners.
I've kept track of who has won, but there is no sheet built yet of how many times a player has won. Maybe I can I can exclaim that in the roster building process, like you're saying, and then say like, hey, maybe their rank is lower than this other player, but
they've been on
has been known to win.
Yes, I think that'd be an interesting statistic to track.
Well, I will. Well, another GG's, another Junkrat victory for the people. Or if you're staying strong with their mascot of Junkrat. A little bit of silly watch for sure. All right, well, this has been fun. Congratulations to Team ACS's feeder, led by Blank.
I think they've proved they've set out and accomplished their goal.
But all right, yep. I will say good night, farewell, and GG's to everybody watching.
GG's.